question from a student right there. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being here, first of all. Second of all, right now I'm a senior in high school. I'm about to graduate in a month. And I was wondering, what jobs or internships did you guys have that led you to this successful part of your life right now? Because, I don't know, I would like to take a summer job or maybe just a job at some time in the future during college. I don't know. What do you guys think? What should we do?
So I think at high school, just getting a job is a good start, right? Don't stress over what type of job. I think it's any job that you're going to get now, you're going to learn from. You're going to learn discipline. You're going to learn, you have to be there at a specific time, and you have to do those duties, and you're going to have to learn to deal with your boss and your coworkers, and those are all great learnings, and they will be good for you in the workplace. If you're interested in pursuing a STEM type of job, then try to get into a company that just so you can see if this is the type of life you're going to want to live going forward and get exposure to that. But I think I applaud you for thinking about getting a job just now. I mean, that's great.
Mm-hmm. And I'd probably want to add to that, also consider, just because that's what I do now, is the opportunity to volunteer or even intern at a nonprofit organization, because not only will you have the ability to learn more about the needs in our community, but you can roll up your sleeves and truly do some good internship work, because nonprofits are always resource constrained. And so we have our interns usually leave our organization with so much wealth of work experience. And so keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd add, those are both great answers, is if you ever wait tables at some point in your life, you will learn more about human nature than anything else. So don't be afraid to take a job in the service industry. It'll be a great education for whatever you do.
That's right. We have another question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And I mean, just the fact that you stand up and you're asking this question is great. So you're in a great path.
Awesome.
The only thing I would add to it is whatever job you take, just do above and beyond any expectations. So you can use that experience to test your limits and your skills, and just think about, what do they expect from me? And how can I impress and do much more than what I'm asked to do, and have fun doing this.
Have a question right there. You've got the catch box. Go ahead.
So we all know that life has a lot of ups and downs. In my undergraduate career, I've gone through a lot of family problems, and it's hard navigating life sometimes when you're trying to be really successful. So what would y'all, can you share experiences maybe about some tough times that you went through and how you got through them and how you navigated them and emerged successful?
Oh, deep question.
Yes, very deep question. Yes.
Very good. So I've had my ups and downs, and I've had my ups and downs not only from a personal perspective, but actually from a professional perspective as well, right? So it's not always up, right? So sometimes you get knocked down, and I think it's very important for you to kind of don't freak out, right? So thinking that there will be a tomorrow. For me, in my case, having faith is also something that calms me, and kind of, for some people it's meditation, but I actually think that it's about taking time to breathe and relax, and not try to solve everything one step at a time, having patience. And be surrounded with people that are positive and are helpful, and having friends. It's extremely important in life, at least for me. Having fun, sometimes forgetting about your problems and having fun. So I actually am at the board of an organization called Make-A-Wish, which is helping kids that are going through very tough, critical illness, and then granting this wish, and we make it as special as possible, so that you actually have a little bit of a distraction of what's going on, and you have something to look for, and this hope that creates inside of you, it's actually so good for your health, right? So there are studies that show that it's actually improving the health. It's not just a nice thing to do. So it is important for you to have hope and know that this is a phase. Then nothing is, a permanent. Everything goes, up and down, and that you're in the down phase, and be patient when it's up, but look for those opportunities to have hope and stay calm. So
and since you're mentioning staying calm and breathing, and this is a conversation around technology, there has to be an app for that. And so some apps that we might recommend is there's one called Headspace. I don't know if you use that, but that's one worth downloading. They have 12 free sessions, and I evangelize Headspace out to everybody. So consider that. And there's many other mindfulness exercises that you can take on the net. Did you have any?
Yeah, those were all terrific suggestions. This is a phase. Everything, gets better. But what I would say is that I firmly believe that we learn more from the challenges in our life than we do when things are smooth sailing. And everything that you're experiencing is all going to be part of the fabric that is you. And as you grow, it's going to just mature you and give you such better perspective later in life. And you'll have much more interesting stories to discuss at a panel like this that you'll be on in the future.
That is true. I know that we are, do we have can we take one more question or one more? All right. Thank you.
Ready?
Whoa.
Okay.
Nice catch.
Hi. So I just recently moved back to the Dallas area. I've lived in Oklahoma City for the last 10 years and got a job down here. Luckily, it was a promotion, and I'm now beginning management as a software engineer. And I was curious, I haven't really seen a lot of talks about growing your career through the management track. It's kind of more male focused, and I was wondering if you had any suggestions for a budding manager or woman trying to move up the chain. Thanks.
So, you'll find sometimes yourself the only woman around the table. But have fun with it. Then you'll become your boss's favorite female executive in the room. So it's, I would suggest that find mentors and find sponsors. I think that's probably something that's key. And I didn't think about it until a little bit later in my career, but that's something that I wish I had done earlier. Always develop allies. So a lot of times, you'll find that as the only woman in a meeting, maybe you won't have the opportunity to speak your mind up. So make sure that you actually talk to people before the meeting, understand where their points of view are, and have the meeting before the meeting so that when you're there, you actually know how to respond and how to manage the conversations. And just be the best at what you do, and don't be afraid to speak up and take chances. And nobody, is flawless. Everybody makes mistakes. And just, one of the things that women do they are a lot harder on themselves. So men are always, I made a mistake, but I'm awesome, so it doesn't really matter. Right? But, women, they're like, hey, they'll sit in bed at night and say, oh my gosh, I said that one word wrong, and how dare me do this? And you beat yourself over it 100 times. Well, don't do that. And always, have even a peer mentor that you can discuss things with so you can feel good about yourself and just have fun with it.
Thank you. I know there's a lot more hands that went up, and maybe if the panelists have a few minutes after the panel is done to spend time with a couple of the students to answer questions, that would be great. But I know I'm seeing a lot of UTD personnel saying time's up, so I want to honor that. Thank you all so much, Dahlia, Anne, Helen, and Maya, for this wonderful conversation, providing your insights. I know we could have kept this going for some time, but I do need to get this this panel done, or they won't have me back as a moderator again. Porus Bolsara, Dean Bolsara is coming back up. Thank you again so much for having all of us here. We appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you very much once again, and please join me in applauding this thing panel. So before we end, I would like to announce the winners of the talkSTEM competition. And so you guys can come to the stage later on and pick up your prizes.